Coach, just raise your hand for questions. No questions. Thanks, guys. Cheers, then. Okay. Percy?
Touch this question, and at least it's dumb question, you tell us dumb question. What would you I post like? Were you guys spending your talent and watching what's happening in April, or are you guys not just worrying about that match and just focusing, making focus on what you guys have to do more often?
No, we'll definitely be watching those. Some guys sleep in and sleep longer, so if we're awake, we'll definitely watch, but we'll know the results at the end of the day. Anyway, it is important what happens there. Obviously, we focus on what we have to do, and I'm sure Argentina is focused on what they have to do too. But we do know that result makes a difference on what happens, on what both teams need to do, because I think all four teams can actually win the championship. So we're all in the battle for that, and I think we'll want to know what happens in that game so that we know what we need to do tomorrow. But the biggest thing, we know that we definitely have to win, and Argentina obviously have the same mindset too.
Still on that, name is Kolisi Stick. So I just want to know, after the game, does your plan start immediately after the game, or we're going to stick to the plan for
Our plan started on Sunday already after the other game, so we've been working, and nothing's gonna change our game plan or anything like that. We're still gonna play the way we play, and we're still gonna follow the same system, the same thing we did when we played the British Islands, when we played the World Cup. We play the same way. It's not gonna change. It's just that we're gonna have to reach maybe different goals than we had to, and that's the most important thing. We don't change our plan because of the situation, but we look at what's in front of us and we play what's in front of us.
Yeah, how unique is the situation where you find that in cup games, in knockout games, it's the team that gets the most points wins? But you're now in a situation where you are dictated to by what happens in the previous game. How unique is the situation? That's something that you may not have come across to your career.
No, actually, in the World Cup, it happens like that as well. So we've experienced it before. But the biggest thing is to not to forget like what you do as a team and who you are and what your values are and how you play, because sometimes people change everything because of the situation in front of them. You know, we're just gonna go harder in what we do, you know, and try and be more clinical and take the opportunities that we create. But our system and stuff is not gonna change. And yeah, but we've been here before, and yeah, and it's a great opportunity for all things, and it's a great thing for rugby too, that you suddenly have four teams in a competition that can win the competition. I think rugby is getting more, and then you can see with the people coming to watch, because nobody knows who's gonna win on the day, and yeah, I think that's good for our sport, and the sport is growing.
Coach, sometimes we sit and we interrogate you about the style of play and all that, but you must feel that there's a very nice balance in your game at the moment. It looks like you guys are just talking about playing what's in front of you and so on. It looks like you're playing the situation well.
Yeah, I think like we always open up about how we want to play the game. It's not a secret, you know, but once again, we do have our strengths. That chances are we're not going to move away from them, and building our game and growing into how we want to play the game and getting better was always part of the goal, you know. And like I always say, is that they understand, even on the field, they've got the freedom. If the space is there for them to run into the wider channels, they've got that power, you know. So they are managing the game on the field, you know. But once again, I don't, like I said earlier on, I don't think we're going to change much, you know. But once again, if the opportunities are there for us to score many tries, then yes, of course, we'll probably love to score more tries. And it's good to see also the players now getting confidence. You know, if you look at the youngsters that are in our team, Jaden and a lighty like Moody. You know, when those lighties got an opportunity last week against Argentina, where they combined for the penalty try that we scored first. So it was something that's nice for us. You know, so once again, they've got the freedom to play the volley they want.
And as background coach, your thoughts on coaching Frans Steyn? He hasn't played fly-off in a test since 2008. Just what has he shown you in the positions where he's had to play it, during the game and also in training?
Yeah, Frans Steyn. I think the situation with Frans Steyn is similar to what we had with Damian Willems. You know, he's always been in our system, and we knew that he's always a backup for us when it comes to playing at 10 and 15. And with that experience, that is something that made it easy for us as a coaching staff, with Damien Willemse being injured, and Franz has been with us. He understands how we want to play the game. He understands our system very well, and he's a very mature player. You don't play for almost 15 years at the test match level. That's okay. Welcome. So yeah, you don't play for more than 15 years at this level, and there's nothing special about you. He is a very special player, and we trust him with everything that is good.
Sia, and just your thoughts on a guy like France now this week. How much of a, he's a guy that we've seen his talismanic. He produces it in big moments, and I mean, this is a big moment, and I guess a lot of you have been there. But for him in particular, to come into a position to fly off and produce, just your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think that it could have been asked of anyone better. He's done it in so many moments. From a young age. I think when they played in 2007, when he had to kick that kick, and he never shies away from moments like that. And just what he's brought to the team, calmness and simplicity, and he's the confidence that he gives us. He telling us not to panic. He's got everything sorted, and you can kind of feel that without him saying anything. And we're really excited for him. He's been wanting an opportunity. He's been in and out of the group. He was injured for a little bit, and now he's back. But I'm really excited to see what he's going to do, and obviously to have that, knowing that if I've got a penalty maybe 60 meters away, we've got that in our armor now coming this weekend, because a guy like Bufeli, the way he kicks too, if you get a penalty anywhere on the field, he will go for it because he backs himself. And I think France, that gives us that kind of ammunition coming tomorrow.
And also to have a fly-half that weighs about 125 kgs. It's the biggest fly-half in the world, so I can't complain as a
He's
coach.
not going to like that.
Quick stick. The stats that came out, so yeah,
I'm
at
looking.
the end of the game, is that the Boks have made more line breaks than any other team in the championship. And actually the second most, I think Ireland have made the most this year. Is that part of the plan to be more attacking, or is it, what are your thoughts on that stat?
That's great to hear that we at least now we're not playing boring rugby anymore. No, it's always the plan. Rugby is a pressure game. If on a day we can apply pressure through running into spaces and gaining momentum. We've got big physical forwards. We've got big, even our center partnership. If you look at a guy like Damien Linde, one of the biggest centers in the world, with Jesse next to him. So we do have big physical players, and for us, it's always great if we can dominate momentum in the game to apply pressure to opposition. And you saw what our forwards have been doing this season. If you look at a guy like Lord Diaga, how he really runs into spaces very well, and a guy like Irben with their physique and pace, So it's like I always say, we are still building towards playing the perfect game. I've seen maybe 1 or 2 games where I felt like, we were in control. If you look at the game at the Mbombela Stadium against the All Blacks, I felt like we were in control for 80 minutes in that game. And the second game against Australia, probably also one of the closest, best games so far in this season. And we're trying to build, to be able to win against Australia the second game, and Argentina now away from home, it was very tough. You probably saw the vibe at that stadium. It was really, really, really challenging, So for us to be able to win back to back, and then that's one of the biggest goals now. If we can win the third game in a row, that's one of the things we've been guilty of in the season, where we're inconsistent when it comes to our performances, So we're trying to build, and hopefully this time we'll get a third one in a row also.
Coach, back on first 10 and third being a bit passed away, how is this physical conditioning, and how long can really go?
He's been with us since the beginning of the year when we started in Pretoria. He's been working with the team, always got nice energy, and you saw whenever he comes on the field, he always brings some different vibe, and also the calmness that he brings, more especially when he kicks those kicks from the corner, So he is a very, very mature player, and he's very professional about how he takes his game. So his physique is good, he's looking good. He's been running like a kid again. Once again, hopefully he will go all the way for 80 minutes, and And if all goes well for us, we'll keep him for 80 minutes.
One for both. Sia, what do you expect from Argentina? You're talking about you want to do the perfect game, and do you expect that Argentina is going to change something? They're going to maintain the same? Of course, they are in a different position with the numbers, but for the first time they have actual chances of becoming champions. It is very difficult, but what do you expect from that? And then to stick back first, Sia.
Yeah. I don't think a lot is going to change in their mindset. I think the way they played against us, their scrum went well on the weekend. I think they would have worked hard on the mauls, or maybe playing a bit more. I think they got a lot of energy, especially at home with the offload game. I think that might be it's something that they would look to do. But I think they're probably sitting in the hotel saying, for the first time in the history of the country, that's what they think. Same for us. We haven't won a trophy on home soil, I don't know since when, so, and I always think we are similar countries in a lot of different ways, in Argentina, and we love playing against Argentina because it's no nonsense. They just come on the field, they give 100%, and then afterwards they have a drink with us after the game, they get along very well, and they've got a coach who's able to get them up, who understands the game very well, and we have the same on our side. So I think it's going to be a proper final for both teams, no matter what happens tomorrow morning against Australia and New Zealand. And yeah, I think they're going to be up for it. They were up for it last week, and they will be up for it this week again. So, and a game is all about moments. It's whether you take your moments or not. We had our moments in the first half. They had theirs early in the middle of the second half, and then we're able to get back up again. And as coach said, when you play in the World Cup, it's all or nothing. You can't lose. You have to win every single game, and we're trying to find that in our normal season to get that consistency going through, because you have to live on that edge that when you're in the World Cup, if you lose a game, you're out. And that's what we're trying to find, so we can have that kind of consistency. And that's what Argentina has been doing. And it's not by luck that they had these big wins that they've had this year, because something has been happening, and it's all coming together for them. And I think tomorrow is going to be a proper game. I mean, it's a sellout. People are coming out in Durban. It's a big day for South Africa. It's Heritage Day. And it's something that we've been working on as a group. This Springbok team has evolved over the years, and it feels like home for me to be part of this team. We're all different races, different religion, but we all come together to bring this country together, to do the best we can, just to put a smile on people's faces. And there would be no perfect way if we could get a win on home soil. And I know it's going to be hard against Argentina, but yeah, it will be beautiful for us to celebrate it like that in front of so many people. And it's going to be beautiful weather tomorrow. So yeah, we're looking forward to it as a group. We want to make everyone proud in our country. They've supported us through thick and thin when, a lot of people were against our game plan, and now it's coming together. So yeah, there's so much to play for us as a team, for each other, our families, but the people of South Africa, with everything that's happening, a lot is not going right, but we're hoping we can be, we can pull it together so that we can just, for a day, that people can have something to celebrate tomorrow.
And Stick, there are two changes in the team, both of them in the backs. Matías Moroni and Ponimov. For Ponimov is a very special stadium because back in 2015, when Argentina beat South Africa for the first time, he made a hat-trick. His father was there. So do you think that is going to change to Argentina? And do you see those two changes in an Argentinian way, like they're going to be more powerful? Do you think that it's going to be better or worse, those changes?
Yeah, if you look at Imhoff, like you've mentioned earlier on, remember he was the one that destroyed the Springboks at the Kings Park Stadium when they've beaten us at home for the first time. Very, very experienced player, and he's been around the block. I've played against him when I used to play sevens, and we know he's a very dangerous player. And also, if you look at what he has done the past couple of seasons, because he was playing in France, so of course he gained even more experience. And Moroni, always tough, and the way they've selected their team, also continuity in how they want to build their team, very experienced team. And one thing that I respect about their team is the fact that if you pitch up on a day and you not switch on mentally, they will punish you. It's the same team that beat New Zealand away from home in New Zealand for the first time in history. That clearly shows that it's a very special team. And you saw what happened to Australia also when they went to Argentina. You not switch on, they will punish you. So we can't underestimate them. And I just also like the fact that the vibe between the two teams, there's massive respect amongst the two of us. You saw when we played in Argentina, the hospitality there, people like were friendly, you know. Even after a tough fight between the four lines, you will still get the supporters out there cheering at us, you know. So there's a massive respect between the two teams. And once again, you can't ask for any better occasion to play on a Heritage Day on a packed Kings Park Stadium. And like Sia said, Argentina, they've got a lot of similar things to how we are as a country also, you know. They are very, very passionate people about their country. And we know one thing for sure, they will pitch up tomorrow. You know, like Sia said, anyone can win on a day. And they still got a chance also to win the championship, you know. So it's going to be a massive occasion for us. But these are the games that we live for. You know, as a youngster, we dream about moments like this. And we're such in a good position for us to be able, you saw 15 minutes ago there was a load shedding, you know. So when we're between the four lines, at least for once where we forgot about all the problems that we've got, everyone just make sure that they do their best for the country, and we're not going to stop doing that. You know, we're going to keep on striving for our best to make our country a better place. We're going to keep on striving our best to make the world a better place, and we can't ask for any better occasion. I'm excited for tomorrow.
So yeah, there's a chance that in the second, tomorrow you guys might be chasing quite a big points difference to try and win the rugby championship, you know. Do you guys sort of have a plan in place in the second half where maybe you just throw caution to the wind and all out attack if you're trying to like chase a points difference of like 30 points or something? Because you know, you guys have been sort of stuck in a weird thing where I think each of your last 4 wins, you guys have won by 16 points. So do you sort of have a plan in place that if you need to chase that bigger points difference, you guys throw it all out there in the second half?
Yeah, I think our game plan allows us to be able to chase that, you know, and I think, you know, like we sit and we study the game, and we studied hard. We studied opposition, we studied each player, got videos of I know what the fly off, what foot the kicks off, or when he's gonna kick, what he's doing. So we got that in so much in detail, and our game plan can allow us to do those kind of things. And I think where we've messed it up as a team, we never take the opportunities, you know, when we get them. And lately we've been able to take a couple of those opportunities. So I think our game plan will get us there. And also we're not silly, you know. When it comes, let's say there's 20 minutes to go and we need to get 30 points, you know, we will know as a team what moves we have, you know, in our team to be able to get to that, you know, to chase that. But the biggest thing is that our foundations need to work. Our set piece needs to work. Our kicking game needs to work. Our scrums need to work. All those things need to be in place. If they're not in place, it doesn't matter what we want to do to throw everything in. Then it's not going to work, because Argentina strumming, lineouts, and Moles, they're also strong at that, and their kicking game is very good. So, and our discipline is going to be important. I think our discipline has been really good. I think we are, and if we can control those things, anything else, you know, we can play what's in front of us and what's needed in the game.
So, you touched on it, but the occasion of playing on Heritage Day, also considering the fact that it's sold out, also the fact that it's the home ground. How special will it be, you know, running at Kings Park?
It's going to be very special for so many different reasons. I mean, the game itself, how big it is, you know, and obviously the opposition, we respect Argentina so much, and yeah, and sold out in front of our home fans, and it's been a while since we've been home. I think it's been 5 weeks we've been away now, and we miss it, you know, and we got to experience how it is in a packed stadium in Argentina, and you know, I'm excited to come back home and hear people singing the national anthem, and you know, when we left after we played the All Blacks and went to Australia, it was kind of different, the environment, you know, and because we came from such a high. And yeah, and playing on Heritage Day is special, and yeah, we're looking forward to it as a group, and yeah, and playing at home is exciting. It's the first time I'm playing at Kings Park as a Shark player, and I'm sure a lot of the boys will be excited that play for the Sharks. So I'm looking forward to it.
Kolisi?
So, Coach Stick, let's just partially answer this question. Just briefly, the importance of game today for you guys. Obviously, South Africans will be getting around five places. Being celebrating another year is the Springboks in our country, but we all celebrate in different ways. What does it mean for you personally? Maybe I don't know, see our question.
Very, very special day, you know. And you know, with all our differences in our country, you know, it makes us a better place, because of we do things because of we care. We care for one another, we care for different races, and I think if you look at everything that we're facing in our country, probably rugby will probably be in the top 3, where it's a system that is functioning well. It's a system that is probably amongst the top 3 teams in the world, if you look at the records, so, and to be able to play on a Heritage Day once again, I know one thing for sure, a lot of South Africans will be sitting in front of the screens having a barbecue and a braai, and so a lot of South Africans will surely be braaiing tomorrow. A lot of South Africans will surely, by that time when we play for 80 minutes, they're going to forget about their problems, That is the impact that we understand, the responsibility that we carry in our team. And like I said, we're doing this because of we care. We're doing what we're doing because of we love our people. So it's a very special day in person. And I hope you also by that time probably going to have a bit of pride place.
Yeah, I think it's something that should be done. I think every day for us to. It's just a day where you can be who you are and celebrate who you are, where you come from, your roots, and I think that's so important. In everything that happens in the world, sometimes you get lost, and you need reminders. And like for us, Amakwicho, singing and upeka nemblis course, cooking with the pot with the 3 legs, that
was bigger.
I can cook. And for us in this team, that's what we're trying to create, the kind of environment where you can come in and be the person you are and be able to be who you are, to add to the value what we're trying to bring. We want everybody to be themselves and bring the best. We can't all see everything the same, and it's always good to see that I'm different to coach, even though we're both closer, but I still got a different perspective to him, and you might see stuff that I don't see, might see my blind side, and also I can bring who I am. I like to sing before I play. Some guys like to listen to different music, and it brings us together, and I get to learn. Now I'm listening to African songs, listen to Defensive, by the way. I'm listening to African songs, and now you get to learn, amongst, and that's who we are as South African, especially when times are tough. For me, when I actually saw how special this country is, during COVID, when I was traveling around South Africa, we drove around, asking people to donate to the foundation. Just saw how many people that wanted to help. Sometimes it's with their time, it's resources, it's finding. However way, people are always willing to help. They just want to know how. And that's when we always pull it together when times are tough. But I think we should take that and have it each and every single day. If we could do that, and if we all put South Africa first, think about South Africa first, not about what we need, or only a group of people. I don't only play for one group of people. I want to make everybody proud in South Africa, every single kid, because no matter what skin color you are, we all go through the same problem, sometimes differently. So for us as a team, we want to just show it can work. We're not perfect at all. We're not getting it right all the time. We make mistakes as a team, but we want to strive to be the best. We want to make proud. Like, I want to make my son proud. I want him to look at me and he can be who he is, because I am too. I don't want to pretend and be someone else. And that's a special thing about heritage. You can be who you are and show it. You can dress up how you want to dress up, and nobody's going to judge you. Nobody's going to look at you differently. And it should be like that every single day. But tomorrow, we'll be wearing our green and gold with pride, and we're going to give it everything we can, and hopefully we can make people proud wherever they are.
And then, and then the other thing is, personal, if you remember what we have achieved so far as a team, we've won the World Cup, but it was not in front of our supporters. It was in Japan, And we've won the championship before. I remember, I think it was in Salta. So it was not in front of our supporters. And British and Irish Lions supporters weren't allowed to come to the stadium. So at that time, even though it's a great moment for our country, but I'll be honest with you, we were a bit lonely in the sense of we couldn't celebrate with our supporters. I think now we're getting a great opportunity in front of a packed stadium, where if we can win the championship, then we can celebrate with our people, So that's another special thing about the opportunity that we've got tomorrow. We've got an opportunity to be able to celebrate with our people, to make sure that we play for them. And if we win the trophy, they will be there to celebrate with us. So it's a very special one.
Guys, let's take one more English question, then we switch over to Can you swim or study English?
Sport.
But maybe before we go to sports, I can just give them a clear ball, both of them. I know they love their football. And, their team, Kaizer Chiefs, is not doing well at the moment. Maybe they can just say something to calm the fans down because the Chiefs fans are
So I must say something to calm me down.
Well, I mean, as a captain of the Springboks, I'm sure you can say something to your Chiefs fans out there to how the team.
No, it's hard for me to say like something, because I'm also a sportsman and I go through seasons where it's tough. I know for a fact that the guys are not going out there to play badly. They're not going out there to lose. They work hard each and every single day, to be good. And sometimes things don't work. And the only thing I can say to them, they must just keep on going, keep on pushing. And I'm sure Coach Athazwane, he's played, it's his first season. He will find it. He will know, what's happening. And there's lots of hard work happening behind the scene. But for us as supporters, we must just keep on supporting and believing. And yes, get upset and be as upset as you want. But at the end of the day, and it will come around.
Love and peace.
Can you say?
Qeqeshi Nick le meko yini nje manje ningabaqeqeshi nithini kuba badlali bike watch nabisiya kuba ekufuneke nijonge bakwenza ngalona okay ukuze niqhube umsebenzi kufuneke
I think thina position enhle kakhulu wena Qanyiso. If uyajonga sizawukwazi ukuba xa siyodlala thina ngo-5 o'clock ngomso sizawuyazi exactly challenge yethu uba sinida ukwenza njani. Yes, sizawubukela la mdlalo ngeliso elibukhali and into ebalulekileyo sinayo indlela yethu sifuna udlala ngayo but sizabe sikipotshini enhle thina because of sizoyazi uba ngeziphi ezi-points sizabe sizileqa xa sodlala la mdlalo njengoba etshile usiya i-game plan yethu iyasivumelana iyasinika ii-opportunity ezininzi uba masiscore i-drive and ubonile imidlalo mithu ngoku noko ii-opportunities besizifumana ebaleni sikwazela uzisebenzisa siscore i-bonus point. So ndiyavuya noko ubona nami uba ii-players ezininzi phaa ebaleni uyabona indlela i-confidence abadlala ngayo ngoku umfana njengodamian Dealinde yabona i-leadership yakhe phaa backline uthi uyabona i-advantage line yabona usipha i-momentum eninzi xa kudlalwa ile nto xa si-attacker. So ndiyavuya ubona abadlali nezintwana zincinci zikhulayo nayo oModi no-Hendricks indlela abadlali ngayo last week indlela abakhombane ngayo last week yabona. So I think thina sizoba kwiposition enhle kakhulu but once again like siya le nto beyithetha earlier on is that uba asizuyitshintsha indlela esadlala ngayo make sure uba sisafocusa kwizi-strengths zethu but into ebalulekileyo xa sifumana amathuba funeka siwakhonvethile kaloku ngoba yayazi ka-test match level if bangaba uzuwathatha amathuba akho uzawupanishwa tata. And i-Argentina ngelaa qela lisibonakalisile kwenye imidlalo xa bedlala ne-All Blacks away from home bakwazela ubetha kakuhle iqela leNew Zealand for the first time and then also babetha ne-Australia. So uzawuba ngumdlalo onzima kakhulu but kodwa ke tata sawuthi make sure uba at least xa sifumana amathuba funeka siwasebenzise.
Siya ndibe bendikhe kahle kakhulu ebhekphendeni qale kakhulu umdlalo nje akhe nacimela nje kancini qala kula siqala lesibili yenza njalo ukuba niphinde lizibele mandla beko benifumene iyaphumela Argentina usonde ezimdlalo kuba anikwazi uba nethuba basonde umdlalo tukuleni vela.
Yeah, sithethile ngayo namhlanje and sithethile ngayo actually before i-captain's run. Siyayazi into nebanike la opportunity yodlalela hlobo and si-team siyayazi bafuna ukubaleka nebhola kakhulu bafuna uqala i-offloads laa nto ibanike i-energy. So thina senze iplan kuloo nto and sonyanzeleka ukuthi thina sihlala kule nto kufuneka siyenzile sineplan yethu and ngamanye amaxesha siba excited ngenxa isikolo sikhulu and then sifuna ubaleka nebhola endaweni yonke. So kuzonyanzeleka sihlale eplanini yethu but siyayazi uba masithini uba xa if yenzeka laa nto for mhlawumbi kumzuzu wesibini isenzeka sasuke sifakele plan sithethe ngayo.